Time you smile or hold somebody else's hand, positivity will also ripple through the land. So if I hurt you, I hurt me too, 'cause you are me and I am you. Weeds may grow and flowers they...
I tried to come up with a name. There's a lot of like folk punk and those type of artists that it's just a dude with a guitar, but they'll make a name for it. I got a friend, Derek Zanetti. His quote unquote band is Homeless Gospel Choir. But man, every name I came up with just sounded stupid and forced, so I just went with my own name. If you search it, there's a lot of stuff will come up, but you can see the logo, and
I love
so hopefully that avoids confusion.
Yeah, the ear piercings, the skull tattoo on the arm, just everything about him. It's very groovy. Did you draw that yourself?
No, I've got one of the artists I met. His name's Reed Chancellor. Man, I knew he could just make a little logo for me, like and real quickly. So yeah, he came up with that about a year or two ago.
I love that you're singing about ignoring your mom's texts and you're just literally on the phone. And you're talking about our daily routines. It's kind of like a more emotionally available Weird Al.
Oh wow.
That's how I'm like, wow, he's really talking to me. He really gets me. Any absurd songwriters that you listened to growing up that you were like, they completely understand me?
Lately I've been thinking about it, and I think it's just like a lot of 90s stuff. Like you had one side of the 90s that was super depressing, which I loved all that stuff. I loved Nirvana and all that. But there was this other side of the 90s that was trying to counterbalance that a little bit, and it was bands like Ween, Primus, bands like They Might Be Giants,
Yeah.
Fish. All of these bands kind of wrote more absurd lyrics that weren't just like about like, hey, my girlfriend pissed me off.
Still on the phone, and then I get back home, and then I get back on the phone, taking the dog outside while I'm on the phone, turn the TV off but still stare at my phone. We're having dinner late, I got the phone by the side of my plate. I do the dishes while I listen to a show streaming off of my phone. Ignore a text message from my mom while I'm on the phone. I got 100 unanswered emails piling up on my phone.
And I always loved songs that were kind of left of center.
When you're writing, do you start with like a punchline to a joke or something or observation, or do you kind of just jam out with a melody and let it hit you as it comes?
For every one song that I actually like enough to let somebody hear it, there's probably 5 or 6 songs that were just shit. They were just awful,
Fair.
And I've got a cell phone just full of stuff that is so terrible. What happens is I'll just keep picking up the guitar till something I don't completely hate comes out. And then when something I don't completely hate comes out, like I've had so many failed attempts at this point, 4 or 5 in a row, that I'm just like, I get really excited about that one thing that worked. And I generally like want to release it as soon as possible, because I'm like, I feel like it's kind of like fishing. It's like, the guy that like takes a picture with a big ass fish and wants to show everybody. It's like that guy sat in the boat all day and didn't catch shit, and that's why he gets so excited when he finally catches that one.
Yeah.
Voice came in like a whisper, singing sweet songs in my ear. I know there's poison in its words. My nature is to self-destruct and push the limits of my luck. I've worked too hard to repeat past mistakes, but when routine feels like an enemy, it's boring and no friend to me. I'll listen to the words you've got to say. I I hear the same monster almost every day. When I reply, the only words I'll say, do what you wanna do, but don't invade my head. Like a friend from a distance who's held at bay. He tries to visit, but he cannot stay. Do what you wanna do, but don't invade my. Do what you wanna do, but don't invade my. Do what you wanna do, but don't invade my.
You mentioned owning a record store. I know you sold it. But God, the people observations that must have happened when you had that shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they must have helped. I don't know. They probably come back to you in interesting ways.
Yeah, well, I think maybe you got something there because I do live in a small city in Indiana. It's a city called Kokomo. Kind of looking around in a city where maybe I'm not so comfortable or don't fit into like what the majority of the rest of the city kind of is.
Yeah,
Maybe, you know, it's like a venting of frustrations or something, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
One inside of my city likes to drive a big truck. Everyone inside of my city likes to eat at McDonald's. So everyone inside of my city, they get in their big trucks, they drive to McDonald's, and then they go home, and that makes them happy. That makes them happy. Everyone inside of my city likes to cheat on their wives. Everyone inside of my city has a job at the factory. So everyone inside of my city, they get in their big trucks, they drive to the factory where they cheat on their wives, and that makes them happy. That makes them happy.
Great songs.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. They're almost Seinfeldian. It's like they're about nothing, but they're about everything at the same time. So you just do a really good job.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, man. And I grew up watching Seinfeld, so maybe there's some of that in there. These new songs I've been writing, I've been taking that philosophy of like being simple, and I've taken it even further. And like I was listening to some of the stuff I made, and it's like, yeah, it's simple, but the bass lines are still like going out of control, and there's like all these vocal harmonies, and there's like all this stuff I'm cramming in there.
Yeah.
Well, the new stuff I'm making, it's like a guitar, a tambourine, and a vocal line, you know, and maybe not even that many harmonies. And I'm finding that now that I'm stripping even more of the crap away and getting like even more basic, rather than that being like uninteresting.
It's so much
'Cause
more.
And my cat got outside, jumped into a pickup truck, took it for a ride. The pickup drove for hours, pulled into an empty field, parked next to a rocket ship made of 100 tons of steel. The night my cat went to the moon, Casper jumped out of the truck, climbed up all the stairs. The cargo bin door left open, smelled something tasty there. The pilot did not notice as he prepared for the flight. The first privately owned spaceship was taking off tonight. The night my cat went to the moon.
Right. And are you a fan of the Talking Heads at all?
What? Oh my God, yes.
I feel like they did this in the 80s where it was like, if you listen to the Talking Heads, if you shut your eyes right now and you think about the Talking Heads, you see David Byrne in that suit.
Yes.
You know, in the oversized suit, and it's like the music was good on its own without a doubt, but when you add like the visual ridiculousness that David Byrne came up with. I think that's the big selling point of what they did.
I completely agree. I was just talking with my husband the other day about just visuals and music videos. We had watched a CBGB movie with Alan Rickman. It's a old movie on Tubi, but it kind of talks about the beginnings of CBGB, and the talking heads come in to audition, and like no one's in there. There's like a couple rats in the bar and like trash
Right.
everywhere, and they're just like, we're the talking heads and we live across the street, and they just start playing, and it's like, God, I just think that we're on the brink of that kind of revolution where people aren't interested. I know I'm digressing, but
Oh, you're good.
people just aren't interested in what the Spotify ads are telling them to listen to or what Billboard charts are doing, because I don't even know what's happening with the world anymore. But
Things have gotten so shiny and so produced and so and then you've got AI going at the same time, and I think people don't know what's real anymore.
yeah,
So like I think it's a good time to be making art that's not polished, art that's kind of raw,
yeah,
um, because people will, it's like, oh, this is definitely real because it kind of sounds like shit. It's like if this was AI, it would sound a lot better. So it's like people can people can already tell that, it's like if you listen to like, an old there's something about like an old Delta blues recording from like the 1940s where it was just a guy on his porch with like a microphone. It's like
I know, and it pops and crackles. I
there's just no
know. Hmm.
there's nothing fake there at all. There's no trickery. There's no auto tune. You just know that you're hearing like you're hearing something real, and I think people are starting to crave an alternative to, not that there isn't great, like, there is. I was listening to Miley Cyrus yesterday. Like I love well produced stuff.
Yeah,
But I think there is a hungry audience for people that want something that sounds a little less polished.
definitely. And people that, I mean, want crave that and also crave live music again and aren't going to shell out the $300-400 for a show plus travel plus, like that's intense to even see some of the quote unquote legends, what we deem legends at this point.
Right. How can you even do it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I only go to one or two bigger concerts a year. Our venue here in Indiana is called Deer Creek,
Mhm.
and it's big outdoor venue. And they just instituted a $25 parking fee. So
Nice.
the,
Nice.
the tickets have doubled. It was a $30 ticket. Now it's a $60 ticket. Now with the fees, it's a $85 ticket, and then it's 25. You've spent $100 before you can even go get a $17 beer, and it's just like
Right.
I don't know who can afford that,
Right.
but it isn't me.
Yeah.
So
I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Thank you for sending me your music, and
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, that's the only way I can put it, is that you're a more emotionally available Weird Al.
That's the best. Thank you for saying that.
Serious.
Have you listened to They Might Be Giants?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I was about to say if you like more emotionally available Weird Al, you'd love They Might Be Giants. All right, yeah, cool, awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
No, seriously. Have a great rest of your day.
Okay, you too.
All right.
It doesn't matter what somebody else has said, the kind of clothes they wear, books they've read. Psychic entropy has held a major grip on me, changing how I see things in my mind. I've been casting rituals and playing make-believe, hoping I can leave that world behind. It doesn't matter if your friends won't validate the path you're on. choice you make. This big old world can make you start to doubt yourself, but trust your intuition and no one else. Psychic entropy has held a major grip.